Welcome back. Welcome back. It's now time to zoom in into our communities and raise some of the pertinent issues or challenges in there and hopefully get the appropriate authorities to respond to some of these issues. There seems to be a never-ending challenge of education infrastructure in this country. So this time we're taking you to the Tarkwa Secondary School, which ironically is celebrating its 60th anniversary, but is riddled with inadequate infrastructure. Let's take a look at this report.
As government pushes towards ending the double-track secondary education system, which was occasioned by the free SHS and its accompanying increased enrollment, many schools are still struggling to meet the required accommodation and space to return to the single-track secondary education system. Tarkwa Senior High School, TASCO, which was established in 1962 with less than 1,000 students, is today having to accommodate 2,123 students. Speaking at the 60th anniversary celebration of TASCO, the headmaster, George Odro, said it is impossible for the school to return to the single-track system if classrooms and other facilities are not constructed. He does appeal to the government and past students, including the Minister of Roads, Kwesi Amakwanta, to come to the aid of the school.
A big challenge to the school is the perennial flooding of the school premises during heavy rains. The school needs a bigger assembly hall since the one currently available is too small to accommodate the large number of students enrolled by the school due to the free senior high school. Another challenge of the school is that most of the buildings in the school have not seen any significant refurbishment since they were built several years ago. For the school to return to single track, a 12-unit classroom block is needed. Although a site has been identified for that purpose, work is yet to start. The school also needs a pickup vehicle since the one in use broke down beyond repairs about 3 years ago.
A Deputy Lands and Natural Resources Minister, George Mrikuduka, who is the MP for Tarkwa Nsawam, as well as a former student of TASCO, pledged his support and that of government to address the concerns.
On record, the school can boast of having made to prestigious heights and demonstrated good academic prowess. Nonetheless, there is more room for improvement as the government continues to demonstrate tremendous support in the form of infrastructural development and other resources to help the school create an enabling environment for teaching and learning. On this note, Madam Chair, I pledge a sum of 20,000 Ghana cedis to support the school's participation in next year's science and math quiz competition.
Another old student of TASCO, Gifty Chum Ampofo, who is currently a Deputy Education Minister, re-emphasized government commitment to the free SHS.
We had professional development allowance for our teachers. We also transformed the Best Teacher Award to Ghana Teacher Award with very attractive prizes. We do all this to ensure that the free SHS, even though it's free, even though numbers had increased, but I'm proud to say that it is the only interventions where numbers has increased, but quality had also improved.
The students are living in danger. That's all I can say. I mean, if you see those pictures, what we just showed you, the pillars in the middle of the building. And I'm wondering if somebody intentionally broke them or it's just too old and it's breaking off by itself. And for a school that, I mean, judging from this report, has produced two great people such as a Deputy Minister for Lands and Natural Resources and a Deputy Minister for Education. I mean, they shouldn't be in such a situation. And Deputy Minister for Education, you have such an opportunity and you are touting the free SHS and its accomplishments. I don't think it's right. this is the time to demonstrate commitment, not the time to pay lip service to some of these things. Just look at how dangerous it is to study or to even eat in such a building, if that is the dining hall. And for a school established so many years ago, clearly did not have the population it has now. Now it has to contend with about 2,000 plus students, also due to the free senior high school. Now, when we say that the policy should be reviewed or revised, then people have problems with the word review. But it is clear, you don't need science to tell you that there is an increase in the population size of students because of free SHS. However, this does not go with the infrastructure. We are not improving the infrastructure, we are not rehabilitating, we are not building new ones. So how do we expect to accommodate all the increase or the spill-offs due to the free SHS? How do we expect students to study and pass and be competitive with their counterparts elsewhere if these are the conditions under which they have to study? It is just not right. We need to take the steps now. It should be practical. We should demonstrate that level of commitment. We cannot go and make pledges. I mean, really kudos to the Deputy Minister for Lands. He pledged 20K, but that was direct towards the school's participation in the National Science and Maths quiz, not towards infrastructure.
But you know something? My challenge has always been the fact that we see a small portion come off. Then we overlook it, waiting for the whole problem to blow up in our faces, and then we begin to ask for support.
Because I don't think the authorities in the school will see and ignore. I'm sure they would have sent reports. Mind you, the authorities there are dealing with shortage of food. Yesterday,
no, I'm not even.
Charles was in Parliament urging the Parliamentary Committee on Education to support them, get government to stop the food buffer stock company, because really the food is not going. They're having challenges feeding the children. So and now the buildings in which the students are studying is also coming down.
My point is, we live in a community where we have added onto our accolades that we are a people with poor maintenance culture. And we are very comfortable saying this, you know, and so we look at this is across board. So you see a little problem, everybody turns a blind eye because we can deal with it, we can manage it. And then we are waiting for, so this has been done. We are waiting for the building to collapse, to harm people. And then we come back, we all move there. We go and do our press conferences. We go and give big promises. But we see this is a death trap. Exactly. Why are we waiting? We did not wake up one day and saw the facility in this condition.
Exactly. Yeah.
So don't we have people going on inspections? You know, the educational directorate, don't they go for inspections?
When they go,
what are they looking at? What are they inspecting? What reports do they go back with?
Exactly.
Who, I mean, handles all these reports? You know, this is the problem we have in this country.
The assemblies are supposed to have engineering departments.
You get it, but we sit back waiting for the unexpected to happen. In fact, in this regard, it is the expected. Because we know what will likely happen. Nobody is really doing anything about it.
Akwasi J.N.M. is our Western Regional correspondent. He filed that report. He was in the school. Let's get a better picture from him. Good morning, Anim.
Hello, good morning.
I trust you're well.
I'm fine.
Great stuff. You were in the school. What do you see? Is this a disaster waiting to happen?
Well, I mean, that is a picture which is already been sent out there. This is a school in the whole Tarkwa constituency of Spanish. And this is a school that has actually also produced a very prominent presence like the current Minister for Roads and even the Deputy Minister for Education. And it tells you, I mean, the contribution of the school. But if you come to the school after 52 years of existence, several of the schools, I mean, the structures are dilapidated with several cracks in them. And beyond that, space is a big issue over there. And looking at the fact that the school started with just a minimal number, I mean, less than 500, I'm told. And today it has more than 2,123. It tells you that the school is having issues with space. And even the existing ones are also not receiving renovation. So if you come to the school, most of the lecture theatres are in very bad shape, although they've tried to paint some of them, and you could see cracked structures which have been painted, although it hasn't been fixed. But you see, the issue of monitoring, the education of officials are aware, the teachers are aware, but sometimes we live in a time where it is even difficult for school authorities and officialdom to even speak to some of these issues because they know they might be victimized. And so they know that is the issue. I mean, the region where we have secondary college, there are issues, but authorities wouldn't talk to you. Parents keep calling media people, but the people who have to speak to the issue wouldn't speak because they are saving their position. They don't want to be transferred or they don't want to be victimized. So the issue with Tarkwa is a concern. This is a school situated at the heart of Ghana's mining hub. I mean, the extractive hub. You talk about manganese, you talk about gold. This is a hub of the industry. Tarkwa is a hub. And this is a flagship secondary school that is to serve the people within this hub. And it's so much in bad shape. And so the appeal from them is for government to really take a second look at this USHS, which is really being, which is really increasing the numbers, but not having a corresponding infrastructure to actually accommodate such numbers.
Right, and so, well, from the anniversary celebration, I want to believe some of the old students were there. What was their response to the challenges the school is currently facing?
One of the prominent old students who actually came there was a Deputy Minister for Education, Madam Chung Ampofo. In fact, he came in to just basically repeat the usual rhetoric by government that we are committed to, resourcing the free HHS system for it to actually use the special results. And so she came basically repeat some of them. But we through the FT for the area, Mekuduka, we got to know that Honorable Amapata, who didn't make it to the event, has promised to actually fix the school inner roads and also to furnish a proposed, computer center, which is to be built. He's not talking about building it, but he says, I want it to build. He will furnish it with computers. And so this is what the Minister for Roads, through the Member of Parliament, Mekuduka, told the congregation, the congregants who actually gathered there to mark the 62nd anniversary of the school. And so these are the big things. But we also have the current GDA chairman, that is Kwabena Dumfo, the GDA president, who is also a former member. He was also there. And he came to add some color to the event. And so these are some of the few, prominent people who actually came there or made some kind of commitment to help with that. The PTA has shown some interest to actually support the school, but I don't think their strength will not go as far as government strength will go. And so, as much as the PTA is pushing itself to actually solve some of the problems over there, a lot will definitely depend on government in actually bringing the school to a point where the issue of space and security structures will be fixed to actually serve the people that is market.
All right, thank you very much. Kosia J.N.M. there, our Western Regional Correspondent. He was at Tarkwa over the weekend when the school celebrated its 60th anniversary. However, it was not all glory, glory, glory. There was some gloom and doom in there because the buildings in there are dilapidated and inadequate because the school now has to deal with a population of about 2,000. Over 2,000 students, which was not same when it was first established. And so clearly they do not have enough room, enough space to accommodate all the students. Now the buildings that are in there are coming down due to years of wear and tear, no rehabilitation, no refurbishment, nothing. And so clearly this is actually a
Nana, if you ask me, the truth of the matter is the nation is broke.
Well, it is broke.
The nation is broke.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't need anyone else to come convince us
You sound
otherwise.
like Ken Thompson. Ghana is broke.
No, but that is the reality, And so I think that individuals must come in, all students must come in to support. The community members who are doing well should come in to save some of these.
You saw what Alhaji Suleimana did
exactly for the Bimbala school. And I think that I'm happy that Honorable Mrekuduka is pledging 20,000 towards the National Science and Maths Week, but they say that a healthy mind lives in a healthy body. The children can have good minds to study if this is where they are going to sit. If people are afraid, if they are in debt trap infrastructure, if they are in such facilities, and so I would really hope that that money will go into fixing something, making the thing quite safe for the students. It's okay for us to support National Science and Maths Quiz. But if we have pressing issues, if we have life and death matters, I think that we need to pay attention to these ones as well. We have the roads minister being an old student. We have deputy education minister. We have deputy lands minister. These guys can help do something. Plus other benevolent.
Elsewhere, people are sitting in class sizes of 12, maximum 20.
You get it.
And they have enough room, enough time to learn, practice, and come out better. And
this position entrenched position we've taken that, okay, this is the policy that we have introduced. We will not do anything about that policy. It is fantastic to have free SHS. It is beautiful. I mean, if I had it in my time, I would have benefited. I would have enjoyed it. But can we just review this, especially in a time where infrastructure is under threat? Even food that these children are going to be consuming, there are issues with this. Why can't we review this? We are not saying cancel it.
We've created access to boost quantity. But what happens to the quality?
We are not saying cancel it. We are saying review. Let's look at. A lot of parents have actually even raised concerns that we can afford to pay.
The truth
we
of the
can
matter
support.
is that the policy in its current state needs to be reviewed.
Exactly.
It's as simple
Why
as
is it so
that.
difficult for us to do? It doesn't mean we have failed.
No. I mean, it is a policy that with good intentions, but if the implementation is not right, I mean, it erodes all whatever it is you sought to institute. Well, let's speak to an old student of TASCO, Bernard Kofi Amia. Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you, my brother.
Well, many thanks to you for joining us this morning. Happy anniversary to you. Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, I'm wishing you a happy anniversary. I mean, the school just turned 60.
Thank you, my brother. Thank
Right.
you.
Great
Thank
stuff,
you.
great stuff. You were there? Were you there over the weekend?
I was there middle of the week up to Sunday.
Right. Oh, okay. That means you really had enough time to go around the school. Tell us what your observation was.
Well, first, let me thank you for the opportunity to speak to you about our anniversary. Yes, I think your report has captured it vividly in terms of the infrastructure, the challenges that our school is facing. It has captured it all. Classrooms, the dining hall, but the dining hall is the same dining hall that when we were about 700, 800 were using. So what is happening now is that the students eat in tens or batches. You see, from one will go have their meal, come out, and then from two will go have their meal and come out. And that really is not helpful. Right. The classrooms, because now we don't have the full number of students in school, somebody's cooking, but the moment we have the single track and the Form 1 to 3 in school, I mean, it's not going to, it's woefully inadequate. We cannot cater for it at all. So yes, there are infrastructure challenges. All the dormitories are dilapidated, and we need to fix them. But let me, at this stage, also compliment AgroGold Ashanti, who have renovated one of the dormitories for us, the two, and they have done extremely well. We have to compliment them. Yeah. Right. But it's massive. Logistics and laboratories, infrastructure is a massive challenge.
Right.
In the school.
So I also want to believe that during the celebration, there were a number of your mates, the old students there. You do have an old students association. Amongst yourselves, what is the conversation towards helping out?
Okay. First, we have the TASCO Past Students Association, the various year groups, and we have also the National Association. Now, we've been doing outreach to help the school. During the celebration, we handed over a couple of projects to the school. of them was the generator that we handed over to the school. A rehabilitated full laboratory was handed over to the school. But more importantly, the dining hall is the biggest concern to us.
Right.
And so that's why we have that we are committed as past students to construct for the school a multi-purpose dining hall. And we're looking at, in USD terms, about 600,000 USD.
Right.
Yeah, for now, it's probably about 7 million cedis plus. But for...
Hello, sir.
School. Now, we had a meeting with the teachers of the school before we left. Yes, because... Yes, we have
Mr. Amia, if you could reposition yourself, we're having some challenges with the lines.
Is it okay now?
Yes, much better. Much better. Please go ahead.
All right. So before we left after the anniversary, we had a meeting with the staff.
Okay.
Just to hear from them, from their perspective, the issues about teachers' welfare, students' welfare, things that basically affect teaching and learning.
Right.
And issues of inadequate laboratories, old laboratory equipment all came up. And these are things we've asked them to put all this into a comprehensive report for us, and we'll share with our members so that various year groups look at, which year groups can take which laboratory, which year group can take which facility to help us. So from the president's perspective, we are doing what we can. Right. We are not happy with what we are seeing, and the school needs massive improvement. We are not happy at all.
You're doing your bit, but clearly there's a lot more that needs to be done. Do you have any plans of reaching out to corporate organizations to come in to support? Because we know some of these organizations engage in corporate social responsibility, and so they may be looking for some of these institutions like your school to reach out to.
The mining companies in and around Tarkwa. That was prior to the anniversary. We engaged all the mining companies there. But that's why how can we have Anglo Gold stepping in? But we continue with that engagement, not only those in Tarkwa, but those in the region and elsewhere in the country, so that they can all come in and step out. We also have a plan to engage well-meaning individuals who can also come in and then help us. So yes, we are on that outreach plan.
All right, Mr. Amia, thank you so very much, and we wish you all the best.
Thanks for the opportunity, and we are very grateful to you.
Sure. All right, Bernard Kofi Amia, an old student of the Tarkwa Senior High School, they're speaking to us. Well, clearly, you can only do what your strength allows you to. But then suggesting to him that they reach out, because Tarkwa and Suayem is really situated in Tarkwa. The school is in Tarkwa and Suayem, and you have a number of mining organizations around them. So maybe if they are able to structure their proposals well, they may be getting assistance.
You know, that brings my mind to what our community leaders can also do, you know, what chiefs can also do to help their community. So, for instance, if we have big mining companies coming in, what you can do is specific needs of the community, you let them also give it out. So we know that they are not just coming to take the money away, but they are also giving back to the society. I know other people are doing it. He just mentioned that, was it Anglo Gold doing that Anglo for them? You know, they've done that. I know other mining companies do that as well. But let's now make that a definite policy that when you are coming, if it is a hospital, if it is a school, do for the community. Because we need these facilities, and these organizations are in better positions to supply them. So why are we not taking advantage of that?
Very important. I mean, just like we did establish earlier, the country is broke. We do not have the resources. We are even having difficulties. We are actually negotiating an IMF deal.
Exactly.
And so...
And that comes with its own restrictions as well.
Moving money out of the government coffers into some of these things may be challenging. But, I mean, that's why you see, there should be proper interagency, proper stakeholder engagement. If this climbs up the ladder, goes through the district educational directorate, the regional educational directorate, up to Accra, to the ministry, to the GES, certain inputs will be made before a budget is read.
Exactly.
And these will be captured in the budget statement. Special allocations will be made to deal with some of these things. But you see, here lies the case that a school manager will write a letter to the assembly and
it doesn't receive any
it
attention.
won't see the light of day because, excuse me to say, somebody sitting somewhere has better priorities.
And that's the issue, you know. Exactly. And this is pathetic. This is sad because we can't always be begging. We can't always be appealing to people. Really, you can't depend on people's conscience to build the nation. We can't depend on people's feelings to build the nation. As and when people feel, I want to do something to help, then this is it. These are young people that we are grooming to take leadership positions in the country. Is this the foundation we are giving them? Really? So we can predict our future, you know, in some years to come, because this is the foundation we are giving these people. And the ones who are in the international schools and all this will end up going outside the country because really, what is the motivation? What is the inspiration? Anyway.
And the students are expected to come out of school and compete. How do they do
Sadly,
that?
yes.
But you see, for a deputy minister of education to have gone through TASCO, in fact, this is sad. And of course,
but we also have a substantive minister.
Yes, but then that's when your lobbying skills should come to play.
That is where I'm gearing towards.
Lobby the thing and let's do some proper work. At the end of the day,
deputy education minister is there. This is your school, madam. It is very embarrassing. I mean, I don't know how she felt standing there and she being introduced as this is the deputy education minister and this is her school. Anyway.
Ours is to bring the issues to the fore. We have done that. It is for you who hold the power to work at it.
We have more. We'll be right back.